Welcome to episode 434 of Salcedo Paranormal, and tonight I am covering paranormal news. As always, you can find all episodes of the show along with links to social media and other ways to contact me at the podcast page, and that is salcedoparanormal.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.podbean.com. Always happy to hear from you all, whether you have comments or questions or topic suggestions, or stories of paranormal experiences, whether they're your own or they're from others that you trust. Happy to either read those or have you join me on the show to talk about them. Thank you all for listening, whether you are here for the live streams on Discord or if you listen to the podcast or YouTube feeds, or if you listen on the Troubled Minds Radio Network, KUAP Digital Broadcasting. There you can hear replays of 2 episodes of the show every night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, right before Troubled Minds Radio comes on. And that's 7 days a week as of now. And I want to thank Michael Strange, host of Troubled Minds Radio, and Liam Martin, host of the Exile Minds podcast, for producing the shows and putting them up on the station. If you'd like to support the show, there are some different ways to do that. You can always share it with others, rate and review it on your podcast platform of choice. You can also find some books that I've written, paranormal fiction and nonfiction, over on Amazon. I also have a Patreon page now, where there will be one extra show exclusively on Patreon every month, starting in August. And that will be available for any of the tiers that you sign up for there, all 4 of them. So, and that's they're at $1, $5, $10, and $20 are the tier levels. So any help is appreciated, as always. Also, there are direct donation links if you just want to give a one-time donation through PayPal or Venmo. I have tried using other services, but a lot of them require you to use your phone as well, and being legally blind, that is not always the easiest option to work with. So there's that. But also, any support is appreciated because there are always expenses when it comes to equipment and research materials, and then also travel expenses. Not that I plan on doing this often, but starting this year, I will be going to the Mid-Michigan Paracon every year, and this year it's November 4th and 5th, and I always include the link to that event in the show, and I'll be going there to really just experience it for the first time, but also talk with everyone there and get an idea of what it's about, and maybe do some recordings when it's allowed, and bring those back and also do a show or 2 about the whole experience. So your support is always appreciated, never expected. And I think that takes care of everything there. So I can get on with the news here. And yeah, so the first story I have is actually from a leftover story from the last news show, which was now 2 weeks ago. But I figured I might as well still share it since I didn't get to last time. All the news stories, the articles are in the show notes and sources channel here on Discord, and I always include them on the episode descriptions as well, so you can check out the articles and read them in greater detail than I am able to get into here on the show. So getting to this first story, this one that's left over from the last news show. Let me see here, looking around. Okay, everything looks alright, I think. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Where is it? There we go. Okay. This first article is from dailystar.co.uk. Title reads, Second UFO sighting in UK town leaves dad convinced alien life is out there. So this is takes place apparently in Lancashire. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Sorry about anyone that lives out in the area. First name is Mike. says that he and his wife saw an orange glow, so I'm guessing a light sphere, possibly, fly across the sky in the evening as they sat in their home earlier in the month. So, let's see here. Has a picture, I believe. Let me see here. Not sure if that one is. Okay. So yeah, I don't think that's actually from the. That's not a real image of the event. But he's the witness says he's utterly convinced there's life out in the stars because he claims that he's seen this light a couple times now, or UFOs anyway, a couple times now, within a year. So he says that he and his wife saw this orange glow fly across the sky. He was surprised and claimed that almost exactly a year ago, he spotted a similar light in the same location. And he says he never disbelieved there wasn't aliens out there because of the technologies available. He says he didn't believe it until he saw that orange glow twice, basically, in a row. So the glow that they show in the image, I'm wondering if it's based on what he actually saw. Because if it is, then it's just like a line of orange light that flies out. Excuse me, through the sky. So okay, here it is. He says that he saw orange glows arc across the evening sky at around 10 p.m. before disappearing in both sightings. So I get, and they're showing, these articles. This article is showing images that that are displaying this kind of a line that's going through the sky, this orange line, and I've never heard of that exact thing before. I've heard of dots in a line, and a lot of times I've heard of those being referred to more as drones or satellites, as far as the likely explanation. I don't think I've heard of too many lines, especially single lines like that. He says he took a few pictures of it. He zoomed in on it and noticed it was the same as the last time, he says. And he says the last time he saw this glow, he was told by the Ministry of Defense that there were no nearby craft that could have caused this light. So his name is Mike again. He said he was in shock when he first saw it. He thought that he wasn't sure if he was seeing it right or if he was seeing an optical illusion, but he still saw it after a few minutes, and after a few minutes of him taking pictures of it, it disappeared. Now that's interesting in a way, because that does happen with other paranormal encounters, UFOs, sightings, and all those things, where it's almost like whoever or whatever is manipulating them or controlling them, they don't want people to take pictures. I'm not saying that's the case here, especially when it's just a line of light, but that connection maybe, we have no idea what the light is. We can't really say it's not some kind of sentient being that's just traveling at insane speeds that's making this light. We have no idea. So it could have vanished just because he was taking pictures and it didn't like that, or they didn't like that. But then again, it could also just be it was a light, and the few minutes was the amount of time it took for it to run its course. He says that the area where he lives, which is this Rossendale Valley, has been the site of many UFO sightings over the years. Apparently became famous after a series of 3 supposed sightings reported in the late 1970s, apparently. And so let me see here. It's also close to an area where there was a site of another UFO sighting in or location of another UFO sighting in 1980. So it sounds like a possibly active area, but again, when it comes to all these different things, I always wonder if this isn't going on all around the world in all locations. It's just a matter of who sees it and how often it gets reported. So it's impossible to know, but and I apply that to everything: paranormal, ghosts, cryptids, UFOs. I don't even really put those in separate silos anymore now, except just to sort of bring them up um, as a start of a conversation, I guess you could say. So, neat article there. Again, that's a little bit old now, but still wanted to share that one. So, moving on to the next article here. And looking at the... Okay. So, let me get to the next article here. One moment. Sorry about that. My nose was bothering me as well. Okay, this next article, now these other three articles here, I found these all today. So these are from this last week. This next one is from ricochet.com, RICOCHET.com. And it says, Dr. I'm not sure how you say that last name, Bastiat, shares photographic proof of ancient space aliens in Ohio. Now, this is quite the claim, but it's here's the story. It says here, the writer grew up in a big farm in Morgan County, which apparently is in southeastern Ohio, and he has a friend that is from Morgan County, which is apparently in the area, and this friend has had family that was settled in that area back in the 1700s, late 1700s, and so they've had to sell parts of the land over the years, but they've also been recently buying it back, according to this article here. And so let's see here. When this friend's uncle, who was the one that was doing all the buying and renovating and everything, they call him Bob in here. When Bob got a bulldozer, he started digging into the banks of this ravine or valley to build a pond. He found a shelf of really hard sandstone. And so he couldn't break it up, so he decided to make that a sort of a dock for the pond. And so he started looking into the sandstone. And this was apparently, he went through 15 feet, I think, of ground and dirt and everything on top of it before he got to that stone. Yeah, 15 feet. And so, and when he got to the sandstone and we looked at it more carefully, he found 3 carvings about 6 feet away from each other in a triangle. And it says they're about 8 inches long, very precise and symmetrical, and clearly made, it says, by some kind of machine. So, and it has pictures of the carvings here in this article. I'll let you all check it out more because I can't really make much of it myself. But so the article goes on. It says that basically the author is asking what made them. Again, they were in a layer of sandstone. It says that was 15 feet beneath undisturbed land that his family had farmed for over 200 years. says the only people on that land before them were Native Americans, hundreds of years before that. And so the author says that if they had dug a hole there for some reason, the layers of clay and shale would have looked different from the other side of the ravine. So basically the writer is saying he doesn't think anyone else has seen these carvings for hundreds of years. So, and again, there's this triangular formation that of these carvings. So it's just a really interesting possibility that they kind of pose in this article. They use the alien part in the title, but then they don't really say that word in the rest of the article. But and they also say that they basically they're not giving the exact location or the name of the people or the family because they don't want to deal with just all kinds of people showing up there to investigate. So, which in a way I can understand that. Just a neat article and a neat possibility there. And you hear about all these different carvings around the world in ancient structures that appear to show even more complex things than what you might see in those pictures. Figures that appear to be not even human. Other figures that appear to have technology on them. All these different things. And so, not that I ever say that anything is for sure, but it seems like the possibilities are out there. And that's what's amazing to me. That's why I wanted to share that article. Because I've never heard of any kind of carvings that anyone has even remotely suggested, at least not here in the U.S., that could be from other beings. At least not as far as what I've heard. So, not to say that I've heard everything, but neat article there that I wanted to share tonight. So, moving on to the next one here. This is from mylondon.news. Title reads, The London Underground, Ghost Known as the Girl on the Train that freaks drivers out at haunted South London station. So this is again, and I've had a few different articles on this topic of these this underground train system in London in the UK, where all these kinds of apparitions are seen and strange things are. There's other things, paranormal things going on there. Says that this is talking about the Bakerloo line drivers at Elephant and Castle. Again, I don't know where any of this is at, but just those are the names that they say. And so apparently these drivers have seen a ghost of a young girl. And there's other stories about other apparitions as well in the area. So, let me see here. They have lots of pictures, which are really, really neat to look at. And of course, they have a legend attached to this. And the legend goes that when this train approaches this one station, drivers see a young woman getting on the train. But after she gets in, the drivers never see the woman again. So they say woman there. I don't know if they mean young, like a teenage girl or what. But it says that they do hear footsteps running around, and then tapping noises and doors slamming. So that's really amazing, especially if it's like if it's during a time where it's slow and they don't have a lot of passengers. It makes me wonder what the passengers hear as well with that. So let's see here. They throw out the possible explanations of the drivers being tired, and but then they also mention that there are other stations in this whole network. And I think I read an article that covered some of the other sightings before of apparitions of paranormal activity in different stations in this system. So just another neat article there about another report of activity going on there. So I think I have one more story here, and I think I have time, just enough time for it. This one is from ksisradio.com. Title reads, Ghost of Frank James said to still haunt Independence, Missouri jail. And the thing they go into in this article here is this Frank James is apparently an outlaw, of course, if he's in jail, probably, in a lot of cases. At least he's said to be that anyway. He's actually the brother of the famous Jesse James, this outlaw from the past. And so this Independence Square dates back to the mid-1850s. This was in this area where the jail is at. And so this jail was the home temporarily of Confederate leader, let me see here, William Clark Quantrill, not sure if I'm saying that right, and then of course Frank James. And it said this was also once home to U.S. Marshals. So a lot of history in this area there. And the stories say that, let's see here, during his time in that jail, Frank James was treated like royalty, it says. But getting to the paranormal here, since we are starting to run low on time here, it says that now paranormal investigators experience hearing their names said by disembodied voices. Cameras turn around when no one's around, and electronic devices detect the presence of something. And I like how they say that in this article. They don't say it's the presence of this person or that person. They say something. And I really think in a lot of cases that's all we can say for sure. For various reasons. So, short little article there, but really neat history attached to it. And just amazing that there's activity there. So, and it's over 107 years old. Or at least over 150. So, anyway, that's all the articles I have for today. Again, I want to thank everyone for listening and for supporting the show however you are able. Again, through all the different sharing the show and rating and reviewing it and just being here to listen. And then when you're able, if you're able, the other methods as well, the donation links and the Patreon. Again, don't forget to sign up for that soon if you want one extra True Paranormal Stories from the Web episode every month. And we'll go from there. So, also, as always, I want to thank all the guests that have been on the show and that will be on the show. There will be more in the future as well. So, and thank you all for listening. And also, please check out and listen to the Troubled Minds radio network, KUAP Digital Broadcasting, all day, really, because there's all kinds of shows on there, and besides mine and besides even Troubled Minds. So, thank you all for listening, and I'll talk to you all on the next episode of Salcedo Paranormal. Take care.